Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Annette Green and I have a very quick video for you today, and it's all about making a policy envelope. Those of you who know Graphic 45 products might remember the policy envelopes that they used to sell, these wonderful packs of 6. They had them in different sizes, different colors, the black and ivory and the red and ivory, and they had little ATC sizes and square, and they discontinued them. So unfortunately we don't have these exact ones anymore, but I thought, because I've been getting a lot of requests, the requests have been like, what do I do? I bought your tutorial on Etsy, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is it. I'll pop up a picture. And I don't have those albums anymore to show you, but because I sold them on Etsy, but I get a lot of people who buy the tutorial and they say, what do? I can't find those anymore. So I thought that I'd do a really quickie and show you how to make your own. It's super easy. You just need a few supplies. And so what you will need is a scoreboard, a bone folder or a scoring stylus, a little bit of scrap, maybe black or compatible color cardstock, a pen, a 3/4 inch and a 1/4 inch circle punch. If you don't have this little guy, it's okay. You could cut something out. You're not going to see that one, but the 3/4 punch is important. Some eyelets, some glue, and some paper. And the best thing that I came up with, because I was trying to mimic almost exactly this look, I went to my Patterns in Solids Graphic 45 pads. I have tons of this stuff left over from projects. And what they are is not the actual collection paper, but a separate pack of papers with a pattern and a solid on the other side. So these are great for envelopes. And so here's one that I kind of test ran, and it's pretty darn similar. The only big difference that you would see is I didn't do the little point on the envelope up here. Like this one kind of comes to a little point, but it's the same size and it does the same job. The only thing we won't have is this that's already printed on their envelope, but I'm going to show you at the end of the video a couple of alternatives of what you can do there. So you need probably a good 12 by 12 sheet of paper. We're going to cut this down, and all those other supplies. So let's get started right now. Of course, you'll need a paper trimmer. I did not mention that. And I'm going to consider this the top of my page. So I'm just going to cut off that strip to start off. Okay, so there's really no direction to this, so this one doesn't matter too much at all. So I'm going to put it in here, and I am going to cut the height of my envelope a total of 9 1/4 inches by 10 inches. Okay. All right, now you grab your scoreboard. This couldn't be easier, you guys. And I'm going to come over here. Now see how I have the 10 across the top. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to score it 2 5/8. And just because it's easier for me, I'm going to flip it all the way around and do 2 5/8 again. Okay, now I don't remember what was my top and bottom, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to turn it a 1/4 turn and do 3/4. Whoops, I just did 7/8, but there we go. And then I need 2 inches here, so I need to back up to 8 1/4, 7 1/4. Or you could flip it around and do 2 inches. Okay, so you can see maybe on the black side, you can see all those lines. I'm going to fold on all those scores. Absolutely, I'm sure that you could find something very similar or make something very similar on a Cricut machine or a Silhouette. but this one is exactly the same size. So I am going to just kind of cut away these corners, and I'm doing a little bit of an angle where I'm considering the bottom of my envelope. The bottom is where the 3/4 inch score is. So just a tiny bit of an angle as I cut those corners away. Okay. So that's the bottom. Okay, same with the top, except this time I'm going to come down on this score line. I'm going to come down about 1/4 inch and come up to that point where those two scores meet up in that corner. Same thing here. I'm coming over 1/4 inch from the score line and meeting up with that other cut. I'll do the same thing over here. I imagine you could also do this on the envelope punch board by We Are Memory Keepers, but I don't know how to figure out things like that. I look for other people to figure out stuff like that. All right, let me put my scoreboard away. All right, so now we have this. Okay, looks good. It's gonna go like this and then like this. Now, one little detail-y thing I like to do, you don't have to, is I'm gonna just take my scissors and round this. You can't really use a corner rounder because it's not a 90-degree angle. So just eyeball it. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, now you want to grab your 3/4 and your little 1/4 inch punch. And if you have very sturdy cardstock, like this is, I don't even know how thick, 100 pound, it's very, very thick. So I know I only need one of these, but on a different one over here that I made, the cardstock was not that thick. So I did 4 total of these and I doubled them up just to make them a little stronger. All right, and then again, these are very thick, so I only need 2 of those. You would need 4 of those with thinner cardstock. Okay, so the reason why we have this little guy is, have you ever made like that kind of a closure and, you know, put the eyelets in, and this is so flat you can't hardly get around there with your twine? So this solves that problem. I'm going to glue the little guy right into the center of the bigger guy. And this is the back side, so it's not like it has to be perfect. You can see I'm just kind of eyeballing it on there. So do this to both. And I'm just using art glitter glue. I don't know that I would use tape for this project. I'll probably just use the art glitter glue. And I didn't mention at the beginning to get some twine, like 6 inches of twine ought to do it. On one of these I'm going to do just a little arc of glue right around that smaller 1/4 inch circle, and I'm going to lay the tip of my twine in there, kind of wind it around a little bit, and then push that out of the way to dry. Okay, and you want to make sure that's perfectly dry before you try to put it on the envelope. Okay, so here we are. Oh, you need a crocodile too. I forgot about that. Sorry. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is get in here, and this is where you want to be in the center. So I'm going to get in here with the smaller hole on my crocodile. Let's move this out of the way and get up here nice and close. And I'm just going to check, look at it, because you can look right down through the hole and see, is it in the center? And I'll just get as close as I can. I'm not too, you know, worried about being perfect, but that came out pretty good. Okay, so that guy, you got to fold down your flap. This guy's going to come over here, and it does sort of hang off the edge a little bit, this folded over edge. So just going to mark in the hole, and you see this is all being done before you know, we glue the envelope shut, because you can't get in there with the crocodile otherwise. Even the long reach one, it's hard because the envelope kind of fights you from getting in there. So I am making that hole. Gonna put that right over there. Grab some eyelets. I'm gonna use silver ones for this. I used some other colors over there I'll show you in my other samples. So silver, again, still that little circle is on the underside. So put your eyelet in the top. Find your hole, put it all those things through there. Okay, hang on to everything. Make sure it doesn't fly off of there. And then with your crocodile set at the proper setting, get in there and give it a squeeze. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I just mashed that all to heck. Let's see what I can do. Okay. I did switch to a gold eyelet, just in case you noticed that little detail. All right, so we want to glue these together now first. And I'm just going to go along the edge and come down, not even 1/2 of an inch, somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2. And glue that down. Just kind of get your fingers in there, make sure you didn't glue your envelope down flat if it oozed out on the top or bottom there. But that looks pretty good. And then I'll go down here and seal that up. Okay, easy, easy, easy. All right, so we're done with the glue. And we just have to do this last one, and I think it's pretty dry. So let's get a hole in there in the center. Okay, once again, draw a circle. Punch your hole. Okay, and then we put our last eyelet in here. Carefully. Make sure I got all the way through. I think I need to squeeze it. I was a little scared. There we go. Okay. And there we go, guys. It is done. Look at that. Super easy and super pretty. Okay, so some things that you can do, because we don't have this cool thing on here. Of course, you can always go to all these printable websites and get some sort of, you know, vintage label download and cut it out and put it on there. Absolutely. But you could use a rubber stamp and stamp. This is an old library card stamp that I had. You could stamp that onto a piece of ivory paper and put it over this side of the envelope. That's one thing. Here's another stamp that I have that has just a very pretty outline label. This is from Close to My Heart. It's very, very old. But you know, find something like that. That could go on there if you wanted to put some journaling. Another stamp I had in my possession was this old one from Stampers Anonymous. This would be pretty cool, turned on its side, which is very much like this. All kinds of possibilities, but better yet, if you have any of these journaling cards laying around, extras, find something that's compatible to your paper and put that on there instead. Right? I would ink the edges and just glue that right on there. So very, very similar, just as nice looking. Okay, and you don't have to just stick with your patterns and solids, of course. You can pick any of your favorite paper. This is from Farmhouse, from Graphic 45. I used yellow circles and black eyelets. The inside has this cute black polka dot. So, you know, change it up according to your project. But, I mean, it couldn't be any easier to make your own policy envelopes, you guys. So there's my quick video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try it. And don't cry that we don't have these anymore. Make your own. Bye.